The one feeling that comes to mind is outrage, just complete outrage, and then probably disbelief.
Loose dogs, stray dogs, injured dogs, dead dogs. It's no secret Dallas has a dog problem. This month's deadly dog attack in South Dallas is just one example of how the system is failing people and animals.
Fox 4's Lori Brown spent months investigating how the city responds to citizen complaints. She joins us now with what she uncovered. Lori.
Heather and Steve, we were shocked to find out that the system to investigate animal cruelty is so badly broken. No one group is tracking all cases in Dallas from start to finish.
3-year-old Khaleesi is a rescue dog named after a character in the popular drama Game of Thrones. Like the mother of dragons, Khaleesi is known for her courage and spirit.
Everybody that meets her is like, why would anybody want to hurt her? She's just so sweet. I can't imagine.
Amanda Deaton took in Khaleesi after learning she had suffered horrific abuse.
So her scarring, I think it goes from right about here to over here.
4 months ago, firefighters responded to a suspected arson at a home in southwest Dallas. They found Khaleesi outside, malnourished and critically injured, her throat slit. A month later, investigators arrested and charged William DeMond Mathonican with felony arson. But Dallas police never looked into who slit Khaleesi's throat.
You want us to backtrack to right there?
Not too far away off Dowdy Ferry Road.
We could smell it before we saw anything.
Is an illegal dumping ground for dead and dying dogs.
Oh, whoa.
It's hard to look at, but volunteer Stephanie Timko feels she must. She's on a mission to save these dogs before they are dumped.
Skull.
Dog school.
Yeah.
It's a dog.
Nearly every weekend, Timko and a small group of volunteers find dead animals in this area.
Strangulation, gunshot wounds, dying of bullet wounds, cropped ears to the head.
Since August, the rescuers have found more than 100 animals.
It pisses me off.
They estimate about 1 in 6 show signs of abuse.
Once you know about it, you can't unknow it, and you have an obligation to do something about it.
When Timko brought her case to city leaders, she was met with an information black hole.
I would describe Dallas's animal cruelty system as non-existent. There are a few patchwork places here and there where people may or may not catch an abused dog, but even those are broken and incomplete.
We wanted to know how seriously Dallas takes citizen reports of animal cruelty. What we found is almost as troubling as the crimes themselves.
It starts when a citizen calls 911 or 311 to report animal cruelty. Dallas received 4,000 calls last year. Those calls are then sent to Dallas Animal Services, and that is where the system starts to break down.
This is the situation. The dog needs to be confined.
Dallas Animal Services, or DAS, does not have a case management system to track those complaints.
Now, every time we call to search it, it's been reported.
And even if they could, animal control officers have no law enforcement authority. That means it's up to Dallas police to get involved.
How many cases has DAS handed over to DPD in the past year?
I don't have that number.
But Jody Jones, manager of DAS, was able to talk about hidden cameras the city installed last year to try and catch illegal dumping around Dowdy Ferry.
Have the cameras helped in Dowdy Ferry?
Absolutely. We've made arrests, we've made, we've gotten leads, and I think it's really brought the public's attention and put them on notice that we're watching, we're paying our attention.
Police arrested Andrew Ortiz, who claimed he dumped the Great Pyrenees as a favor for someone else after the dog died. That's one arrest.
We have made arrests because of those cameras out there.
But when we asked Deputy Chief Paul Stokes for details on those other arrests, he would not give dates, names, or case numbers.
You're an investigative reporter, right? You should be able to get what you need to make that request.
Okay.
So we decided to request every 911 call for animal cruelty and what DPD did to investigate. Weeks later, we got some files, but they did not paint a complete picture. Hundreds of entries showed no names, no addresses, and no indication of how cases were investigated.
All the different entities have their own accountability for it.
We asked Chief Stokes to clarify. He said cases are tracked by each division and detective. DPD also tracks cases they send to the district attorney. none of that was reflected in the files we received.
And if we don't report and we don't track, we will never know. And if we don't know, we can't get resources to deal with the problem.
We did find one number from the Dallas County District Attorney's Office. Last year, Dallas police brought 11 cases to the DA's Animal Cruelty Unit for prosecution. 11 cases out of nearly 4,000 calls from the public. Carmen White oversees the DA's Animal Cruelty Unit.
Is that an appropriate number?
One of the reasons we have formed a unit is because we realize that the public is not educated on what animal cruelty is. And even if they recognize it, a lot of times the public doesn't know what to do. They don't know who to call. Once people understand that it is in fact criminal to mistreat an animal, then the police will get more calls, the police will have more cases to investigate.
Two heads over there.
Houston and Austin have dedicated animal cruelty units within their police departments.
The maggots have just completely run it down.
Rescuer Stephanie Temko believes Dallas needs one too, because right now, DPD officers are forced to prioritize crimes against animals among crimes against people.
As soon as they get called off to do something else, it's all going to fall apart because it isn't anyone's actual responsibility to take care of this. And this is about building a safety net for our animals that does not exist today.
Does DPD need an animal cruelty unit?
Right now, at this time, we believe we do not need that. Right now, like I said, we have 7 patrol divisions, and each patrol division has its own person that does, their own detective that does investigate these offenses.
Dallas County prosecutors disagree with DPD.
Would it be a good idea to have an animal cruelty unit in the city of Dallas?
I think it's very important to have a unit that is dedicated and focused on animal cruelty and investigation of animal cruelty, because I think it allows an agency to dedicate all of their time to the investigation.
Got his little rib bones there. Look how tiny.
Back along Downey Ferry Road.
Tossed over the road into the water.
Temko adds another tally to her notes. Since no one else is counting, these rescuers say they plan to keep documenting these possible victims of animal cruelty until the problem is solved.
Dallas Animal Services says they started manually tracking cases sent to DPD in March. That's the same time we put in our request for records that led to this story. Heather.
All right, so Lori, is Dallas Animal Services going to do anything to address the communication gap between police and animal services?
Late today, a city spokesperson told us that they are embedding a police deputy chief inside DAS to address those communication gaps. One thing that they plan to do is finally integrate their dispatch systems so the left hand will know what the right hand is doing. Heather.
That's important. Lori, thank you.